Hello, gentle people. Hope you all are doing well. It is Saturday morning, and I am going to do a swatch of the Aqyla paints that I showed you guys in the last video. And this is my swatch book. Thank you, my nibby just came in, gave me my headphones. Okay, so this is my swatch book, and it was a sketchbook that I had bought with handmade paper, and I didn't like the cover, so I used some old pants. They're actually these old pants from India called salwar kameez, and I cut them up and recovered this sketchbook. So I just throw random stuff in there, but mostly I use it for color swatches. So that's what it looks like on the inside. That's a page. Martin, every time I get new paints, I just throw them in here. All the different watercolors, Sennelier, and the high chroma stuff, the Lumi, which I really love because I love neon. I'll probably do a different video just going through all the swatches, but let's just get right into it. I'm going to be using two different brushes, and this is like literally high end and low end. So I have this Escoda number 6 brush, which is Kolinsky, and this is like super high quality. And this one is just a Zen Royal and Langnickel brush, and let me tell you, both of them function the same way. Actually, to be honest, the cheaper one, actually I prefer it a little bit more. It's synthetic bristles and they kind of just stay together better. Look at the difference. Can you tell? This one is kind of starting to jack up already, and this one actually looks a lot nicer. So one for warm colors, one for cool colors. I have my water off here to the side, and these are the colors that I'm going to swatch out and show you guys. Again, if you have not watched the Aqyla video I did before, definitely go and check that out. It's not too long, but the deal with the Aqyla is that they're supposed to perform like all the different paints that you're used to. If you thin it with water, it will act like a watercolor. If you just put it down straight from the tube, it's going to act like an acrylic, or you know, even similar to oil. And you can also layer this over oil paint, which technically you can do with acrylics. So let's get right into it. And if you hear any noises in the background, just ignore them. My two uncles are here, my mother's brother and my dad's brother. So there's a lot of excitement going on in the background. All right, so let me see. I always start with yellow because yellow is so light, and I'm just gonna squeeze it from the tube, which is how I normally do. So squeeze a little bit there. And again, these Aqyla paints, they're pure pigment. They don't have any, actually let me do this first. They're pure pigment. They don't have any extenders in them. And yeah, feels literally just like watercolor. Not watercolor, sorry, acrylic. So let me add a little water. Not bad, not bad. The consistency is very smooth and creamy. Just adding the water doesn't make it feel globby. Let me kind of just extend this a little bit more. Yeah, so it's wild. Normally with like regular acrylics, once you add this much water, it starts to like thin. And look at me extending this line all the way out here. Not bad at all. And depending on how much water you add, you can kind of get either an acrylic consistency. You can have a feel like gouache, or if you use a lot of water, it's almost like a watercolor. It's almost like a transparent watercolor. Can you see the gradation? Actually, let me use the brush and take up some of the yellow. See? That's literally just like how a watercolor would perform. And I really like that you're not losing any vibrancy of the pigment at all. And maybe I should do this thing where like I speed up the video at the end so I can go through all of them, so you literally don't have to be bored with me like swatching out paint. This is literally, you know, that thing where they're like, oh, it's so boring to watch paint dry. Well, I actually like watching paint dry just to see what happens, but I don't know if you want to sit through me doing like every single one of these. So let me just do a couple. All right, I won't do all of them, I'll just do a couple. If you want me to do all of them in a different video, just let me know. This one is the yellow ochre. And again, like I said, there's no pigments, not pigments, there are no extenders in this paint, so it is pure pigment. And there's some water on my brush already, remember from the last time. So I really, really like the consistency. It's very smooth. I dig it a lot. It's like, it almost feels like super high quality gouache. And see, again, when you thin it out with water, you kind of have that very transparent watercolor look. Let me do the orange, well, what they call scarlet. Let me scooch this up a bit. And I noticed a couple people have already answered the survey questions, this little creativity survey that I'm doing. If you have not as yet, definitely make sure to check out the link below so you can answer those questions for me. They're only like 3 questions. And for my peeps, Miss Sharon and Cake Ooh in Japan, who've answered already, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. So again, it's just a little creativity survey, and the questions are going to be in the link down below. And woo, there's the red. Oh my goodness, it feels so nice. I wish you guys were here to try this paint. Oh my goodness, it glides smoother. You know what it feels like? It's almost like when you add glazing medium to acrylic paint. Like, that's literally how smooth it slides. But you know, normally once you add glazing medium, it thins out, it becomes almost transparent. But just adding water and still having that vibrancy, and you know, it just flowing as smooth as it does. And I think right here where you see this little funny bit, I think it's probably just the paper, because it's handmade paper. All right, so let me switch brushes. And if you don't already do this, you might already, but I always have 2 different water things when I wash out my brushes, one for cool colors and one for warm colors, so it helps the water to last a lot longer, so it doesn't, you know, get so muddy. All right, I'm going to try this one because this is one of my favorite colors. This is like phthalo green, which looks almost transparent. Oh, a little word here. If you notice, let me put it up so you can see it, right? A little bit of, it looks like when you open oil paint for the first time, and you know, sometimes you notice like a little bit of oil comes out, and people think sometimes that means that there's something wrong with their paint. When you open your paint, even watercolors, it happens with sometimes too. When you open your paint and you see like a little bit of oily sediment coming out, that is actually a good thing, because what it means is that your pigments are settling, and it also indicates that you have a very high quality paint. So the pigment is high quality. So if you open your paint and you see a little bit of, you know, oily sediment come out, don't fret not. That is actually a good thing. All right, so let's do this one here. Can you still see? All right, and here we go. Yup, still smooth. Let me add some water. I dig it a lot. And you know, again, like I said, this is handmade paper. This is like cotton rag paper from India, so it's just going to have like bumps and ridges. If you're using, you know, hot press paper that's super smooth and made for wet media, then you're obviously going to have a different kind of experience with the paper. But it's so smooth. And again, these Aqyla colors, they come in Aqyla paints, I should say, they come in 72 different colors, and you know, you can just pick them depending on which ones you like. So you don't have to get the kit like I did here. You know, I just wanted to have a good, you know, basic set of colors. But if you just want to buy individual tubes, that's fine. And I know they have been available on Amazon, but when I went on Amazon a couple days ago, I noticed that they were out of stock, and it says, you know, like currently unavailable. Do not know when they're going to be available, but if you go directly to the website, which I'll put a link for that too, if you go directly to the website, you can order directly from them. And remember, it's coming from Japan, so it's going to take a hot minute to get here, but you know, it's delayed gratification. In this day and age, people are used to things happening instantly, and that's not always a good thing, you know. Maybe you might have to wait a little bit to get your paint, so that's not too bad. Oh, let me put this back right here. So again, I'm not going to do every single one of them unless you want me to. Just, you know, shoot me a comment and let me know. But just to give you guys an idea, this is what it looks like. So I did this one here. That's this one. This is the yellow ochre. This is the scarlet. And I also did the phthalo green. And, you know, like I said, when you just get it straight from the tube, it's just like acrylic paint. Once you start to thin out with just a little bit of water, you have this gouache consistency and effect. And then once you thin it with more water, then it's literally just like watercolor. And obviously you can, you know, use markers and pens over it. If you decide to use more paint on top of it, it's not going to affect it like it would normally with watercolor. And remember, these Aqyla paints, you can also layer them over oil paint, and you can use any of the mediums that you're used to. So whether it's glazing medium or, you know, soft gel, you could probably put some in some texture paste, which is the modeling paste. I'm probably going to try that as well. Oh, and here's the deal too. These paints are cool because you don't just use them on paper. You can actually use them on glass, you can use them on metal, you can use them on fabric, which is super cool. So I'm going to go through and test them on all those different things. But I've watched videos and, you know, the company has made it clear that you can also use this paint on all those different substrates, which is really, really awesome. And I watched this video where they used it on glass, and they compared like the glass and 2 sheets of glass with acrylic paint and Aqyla, and then put them in water, and after a while, like, the acrylic paint just started to wash off because, you know, it's water based. But these paints have this alkyd binder that it just makes it function completely different. But I really like it, and I am not in any way sponsored by these people at all. I use my own hard-earned money to buy this paint, but I really love the way it performs, and I'm excited to continue using it. And like I said too, you get a lot more than if you bought like a little set of gouache. Let me show you guys. This is a set of Holbein gouache paints I have here, and look how small it is compared, and this is more expensive than this. All right, so I think they're a good buy in terms of quality, in terms of the amount of paint that you're getting, and just the performance. So if you have any questions, drop me a comment below, and remember to answer those creativity questions for me. Again, thank you for your time, your energy, your presence. You know I appreciate you, and I love you very much. All right, so you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.